One of Tampa's own has landed a role on a brand new TV series, and it's debuting next Wednesday on the Oprah Winfrey Network.
The series is called David Makes Man, and Jimel Atkins has a key role in that show, and he joins us today by way of Hollywood, and before that, Tampa.
Yep.
That is so exciting to have a local guy make it into such a significant role.
Yeah, a little bit of luck, and hopefully a lot of preparation, you know.
And as you put it, some soul searching. I'm gonna go back to the conversation we were having before we got started. You actually played football at USF, and unfortunately dealt with injuries like many athletes have unfortunately deal with in their careers. You decided, though, not to sit around. Explain how an athlete can decide to go in a different direction, because sometimes when you're like a football player, you eat, sleep, breathe the game.
Yeah.
Talk about the transition.
Especially in college, there's a lot of pressure to keep up with the Joneses, if you will, and from the coaching staff to the environment to the student body, you want to be known, and it just takes a person that has to understand that you got to do what you know makes you happy versus what you think makes you happy, and not have to be able to walk away from outside pressures and be comfortable with yourself and just really believe in yourself and know that this is authentic to me.
So what was the first gig? How did you get started to kind of go down this path? How can we spread the wealth a little bit?
So the first thing I did was the first thing I ever landed was a small role in the Bernie the Dolphin movie that was shot here in Tampa.
We actually talked about that on our show,
Yeah, so I was in there. My scene was with Kevin Sorbo.
Okay.
And then after that, on August 16th, I'll be on Mindhunters on Netflix for another short scene. And then right after I'd done Mindhunter, I got the opportunity for David Makes Man. It was shooting in Orlando. My callback, my audition process was with the writer Terrell McCraney, who won the Oscar for Moonlight. And after that, it was just kind of like a quick 1-2. I guess when it rains, it pours.
Oh, no, and that also means that you're really good at what you do.
Hopefully.
It wouldn't happen if he wasn't good.
Right.
So making this show, David Makes Man, what was that like? The important question, did you get to meet Oprah?
Yes, I did.
There we go.
Yes.
I'm going to shake hands with you, and it's like shaking hands with Oprah. There we go.
We are. We're kind of like 1 degree of separation
I'm gonna
now.
have to send
See,
you-
there we go.
There it is. Yeah.
I'm just picturing myself there with Lady O herself. Is she as fabulous as what everybody thinks she is?
Yeah, you can sense how much of an icon she is just immediately when she walked in. I said this the other day. It was absolutely silent. She walked up to us. Some of the cast that was there, she gave us hugs. She gave us good praises. She gave us her blessing. She's just as gracious as you would imagine her to be. You know, it's like she walks on water, I swear.
So what's the show about? What's your role in the show?
Okay, so the show is about a 14-year-old young black boy who is basically growing up in South Miami. And what ends up happening with him is he is ultimately making decisions that he shouldn't be having to make at his age. He's battling between the streets, and he's also battling between choosing higher education, choosing a better way of life, but being weighed down by the system and the environment that he lives in. You'll see David, played by Kelly McDowell, really deal with material that you would expect from an older man, somebody who's been a little bit more seasoned. But you'll see that he's 14 and he's dealing with things that he probably shouldn't have to deal with at his age. You know, stress, mother, family, relationships. So young, but so much, gravity in the situations that he faces.
What about the role that you play?
For me, I'm playing the stepfather to his best friend, Sarah Kelly. And needless to say, not only I have a very specific and odd family dynamic going on into Kelly's, my side represents a little bit more of the affluency.
Okay.
So when David comes over and David sees how we're living, he's thinking, this is great. I don't understand what the problems are. And then the more time he ends up spending with us, sometimes by accident, the more he starts to see the layers get unveiled. So he's in for, I wouldn't say a treat, he's in for a surprise for sure.
Definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah, it seems like something really we can all resonate with. I mean, obviously the character himself is very unlike me, but the idea of I have to make choices in my life, and I can either do the easy thing and slide, or I can try for something more and try harder, and trying to balance that, I think that's something that would resonate with me.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And what's crazy about it is that even though the show, as we've said, is poetry in motion, we say it's unapologetically black, it's one of those things that when you watch, you almost get an education lesson. There's going to be people that you see that you've met before that haven't been shown on television, that haven't been given that much space to be a fully realized character, and we're going to be able to kind of put a spotlight on the types of people that are walking around us that sometimes we think are one way but are absolutely another.
Well, in closing, we only have a few seconds. I do want to get your thoughts on the future.
Yes.
What are your future goals? Where are you heading next? What are you working on?
Well, I'm auditioning a lot now, so we're trying to see what the next big project is, and hopefully in a few years, or hopefully soon enough, I can have a premiere in Tampa for a movie.
I think that is a great plan. Just don't forget about us, little people.
I will not. I'll be back.
Will you come back and
Yes,
see us?
absolutely.
Deal.
All right.
Good stuff. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Pleasure.